Hey guys, Lord Nick here, bringing you another League of Legends related video. In this video, I wanted to give you a quick guide to Caitlyn. And so, to start it off, we're just going to talk about all of her basic stuff. So, Caitlyn, if you are unfamiliar with her, is the Sheriff of Piltover. I don't really think her thematic, her skill set really fits her theme to me. She's definitely a sniper, but I don't really feel the Sheriff feel for her all that much. Anyhow. So Caitlyn's passive is after every 6 attacks, you get to do a headshot. If you're standing in a bush, it's every 3 attacks. That's it. A headshot does extra damage. It scales as you get better, but base-wise, it was just I think it's at like you get 25% bonus damage. Increased by crit strike chance. So building crit on her is very much valuable. You also get headshot from 2 other abilities of yours, which is going to be your W and your E when you land those on opponents. Now, for Caitlyn, my recommendation is to max your W first still, and the reason why is that your Q, while a decent poke tool, is not really what you're going to be using in the late game. And what allows Caitlyn to be so potentially strong right now is her traps. So you just set a trap out, and your opponents can't step there. If they step there, they get trapped, they get snared for a little bit, and then you get to do a headshot on them. It does have a small window of time before it can be set down on them again. So just be wary of that. But otherwise, maxing it first just allows you to have more zone potential because there's just less places they can walk in the lane when you play it out. Like, these are terrible trap placements. You probably want it more like... Oh god, that's even worse. Alright, so you want it like in a staggered line like this most of the time, and the reason you want it in a staggered line, that's better, I guess. The reason you want it in kind of a line like that is it just zones off more of the lane for them. You want it in a better line than that. You want it in a more angled line, so like how this line is angled, but you want to just continue it down this way. The reason why is though they can step up to here now, they can't really like kite this way without inevitably hitting a trap. Or even potentially like kiting from here, they can't kite to here. They have to back up and wind around, and then it limits more area that they can't touch. It's just a really simple tactic that you use with it, and the more traps you have, the easier it is to kind of put this tactic to use. Next ability we're going to touch up is going to be her Peacemaker, Piltover Peacemaker. It's a very simple ability. You shoot in a line over, what is it? It tells you the range here, right? Nope, just a narrow projectile over a short range. It has a decent range to it. It's a nice poke tool. After you hit the first person, it only does 40% to everybody else, unless that person is trapped or netted. If you trap or net someone, you can... So, when they're trapped, it'll do full damage to them. That's what it tells you here. When they're netted, it'll also do full damage to them. It's just a nice thing. The first person it hits does full damage. After that, it spreads out a little bit and catches everybody. It's a nice little wave clear tool for that reason, but it does 40% less damage to everybody after the initial target. Your next ability is going to be your net. Net shoots you off in a certain direction. If it hits an enemy, it slows them and marks them for your headshot. So that's pretty simple. It's a pretty easy to use tool. If you need to escape, you can use it if you're right next to a wall. Certain walls you can jump over, certain walls you can't. See? Like, you can't get over these walls anymore. Certain walls you can still. I think, like, blue wall you can get over still. Yeah, see? Like, you can get over some walls, you can't get over all of them. So, what you can do with her net, though, is if you net somebody, you can net Q. You can put a trap down as well. Traps are really useful, so if somebody's trying to chase you, you can screw up their path because it doesn't take very long to put them down. So you just screw up their pathing if they're following close behind you. If you're really good with the net, you can get, as the net's going off, you can get your Q going so that you get your proc off. Pretty simple. Last ability is her R. Her R just locks onto your target. It has a massive freaking range, so let me get over here real quick. Yeah, so here's about the max of its range, about right here. That's huge range. Now what it does is it also gives true sight, so do your traps. This is a little known thing that is generally forgotten about her stuff, is that it gives true sight, and that is super valuable right now, especially after Vayne just got buffed. Caitlyn has just always been kind of a counter pick to Vayne, and by that I mean the fact that Vayne is a very short range champion, Caitlyn's an extremely long range champion. Also, Vayne likes to become sneaky and turn invisible. Caitlyn says, screw your invisibility, I have two abilities that say I can see you. So, all in all, she can do really well for that. Lastly, we're just going to talk about her runes real quick. I think the best runes on her are kind of the Korean runes that people are going with. You could do some slight variations to this if you think there's other secondaries that you might prefer. I go Precision currently, just because I believe Precision is probably just synergizes best with her. But you have Grasp of the Undying, and the reason you go Grasp is that after 4 seconds of combat, which is really easy to be in combat with Caitlyn, you then get the Grasp proc, and the Grasp proc allows you to do a lot of extra damage to someone, along with healing yourself for some. And I just think this is a better one than Fleet Footwork. One, it's up more often. Two, it does just about as good as healing as Fleet currently. The only difference is you don't get that mobility speed. And then it just increases your damage. So, I mean, you don't need the mobility speed as much on Caitlyn, though Fleet is still a good build path on her if you wanted to go that rune. It's not bad on her. Sorry, I'm just having kind of fun doing the net combo. And then you can also go into press the attack is also decent on Caitlyn. But I just recommend Grasp. It's probably one of the safer ones, but it also gives you, it's also really good because it allows you to abuse Grasp procs, and it also gives you Demolish as an option. So if you are really zoning the lane really hard, you can kind of step up to the turret and take their turrets a little faster. Alright guys, this has been a quick guide to Caitlyn. For actual build paths on Caitlyn though, in terms of items and stuff, easiest stuff to do is really just go, actually, what are the essential items currently? You just go into Storm Razor, into Rapid Fire, and Berserker's Greaves can be switched out if you're kind of behind. To an AD individual, you kind of want to go, of course, Ninja Tabi. If they have a lot of CC and you really can't deal with that, go into Merc Treads. If you just need to be faster, go Swifties. They're not bad. Otherwise, you can take Berserkers. In every other situation, really, you can take Berserkers. Berserkers are a simple one, but knowing what boots to take in what situations is really useful. You, of course, want to go for an Infinity Edge at some point. I usually would say go Storm Razor, Rapid Fire, Infinity Edge, and then you can choose a third crit item if you want to go into full crit build, which isn't bad, or you can go defensive items if you really need to, because assassins and bruisers are definitely a thing that are still nasty, even with Caitlyn's ability to be super safe. Alright guys, that has been my quick guide to Caitlyn. I hope that these basic things that I've kind of shown you helps you out. If you want more in-depth stuff, go ahead and check out Caitlyn. Go ask people on the Caitlyn main subreddit. They're pretty nice usually, and they'll help you out. I'm not a Caitlyn main, so I can't really go into super in-depth stuff. If there's some more in-depth things that they have, they would know it. Also, you can check out guides on like MobaFire and other sites that are still out there. Other than that, guys, thank you guys for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, or follow my Twitch, or do all of those things. Haha. Thank you guys again for watching. Hope you all have yourself a wonderful day.